government approved a pregnancy pill that poisoned 3 generations, an acne drug that drives teenagers to suicide, and a pain med that kills you for having a single beer. Even worse, doctors are still prescribing these FDA-approved nightmares today. Accutane Catastrophe. How far would you go for clear skin? Would you risk looking flawless in your coffin? That's Accutane, a drug so extreme that desperate teens traded their mental health for clear skin. Some never lived to see the results. When it hit the market, it was the acne messiah. But this miracle cure came with a catch. If you're pregnant or thinking about it, Accutane is your worst nightmare. We're talking a 20 to 35% chance of severe birth defects, malformed skulls, heart defects, facial abnormalities. Even with strict precautions, the consequences are catastrophic. But pregnancy isn't the only concern. Depression? Check. Psychosis? Check. Suicidal thoughts? Triple check. The suicide risk can haunt you for 6 months after stopping. Sure, you'll be glowing, but maybe right into a psych ward. Think you're safe after quitting? Wrong. We're talking permanent vision loss, stunted growth in teens, and sexual dysfunction. Your liver, pancreas, and bones? Yeah, they might never forgive you. Yet doctors keep prescribing it because it works. 90% of patients see their acne vanish, and for some, it never comes back. For someone who spent years hiding from mirrors, that's salvation. But here's the real question. Is perfect skin worth gambling with your sanity, your organs, and potentially your life? Quaalude Nightmare. The miracle drug that tucked you in, kissed you goodnight, and maybe forgot to let you wake up. Back in the 1960s, doctors handed out Quaaludes like candy. Can't sleep? Quaaludes. Nervous? Quaaludes. Just feeling too alive? Quaaludes. Then the 70s hit and these pills became the hottest party drug, often mixed with alcohol at clubs, because nothing says great decision like combining 2 downers. Spoiler, morgues started running out of space. 1972 was peak madness. While doctors prescribed them for everything from anxiety to I need a nap, they ignored the glaring side effects: addiction, seizures, death. The DEA finally woke up in 1984, banning Quaaludes completely and classifying them as one of the most dangerous drugs, right alongside heroin. Yeah, too little too late. But the party evolved into something darker. Black market Quaaludes became a chemical roulette of benzos, fentanyl, and whatever else dealers could profit from. Users went from 1 pill to 2,000 milligrams daily, 10 times the recommended dose. At that point, death wasn't knocking, it was breaking down doors. But hey, profits over people, right? Fen-Phen Disaster. 6 million Americans bought the dream of effortless weight loss. They got shredded heart valves instead. In the 1990s, Fen-Phen exploded as America's weight loss miracle. The catch? Instead of just slimming thighs, it was slicing through heart valves. And yes, it had FDA approval. The whole craze was built on one flimsy 1992 study with just 121 people. That's not science, that's barely a focus group. But who needs trials when there's money to be made? Weight loss clinics jumped in, with even chiropractors handing out pre-signed prescriptions. Over 6 million people, mostly women, took the bait. Reality hit hard. Instead of fitting into smaller jeans, people were rushing to hospitals with failing hearts and lungs that looked like they'd been run through a shredder. 1/3 of users developed life-threatening complications. The lawsuits? $13 billion in settlements. But here's the kicker. This wasn't some back-alley diet scam. This disaster wore the FDA's golden seal of approval. Turns out, you can unleash a barely tested drug on millions, then deal with the body count later. The FDA might be unreliable, but you can trust that subscribe button, no side effects guaranteed. DES Legacy. What if a magic pill promised to protect your baby, but instead cursed your family for 3 generations? Meet DES, where the only thing it protected was Big Pharma's profits. From the 40s to the 70s, millions of women took this pregnancy insurance. Pills, injections, creams, they had it all. One tiny problem: it did absolutely nothing to prevent miscarriages. Instead, it was a biological time bomb that devastated families for decades. The DES daughters, they got rare vaginal cancers before they could legally drink. Their uteruses came pre-installed in a T-shape because who doesn't want origami for organs leading to devastating infertility. The sons weren't spared either. No, genital deformities and testicular cancer became their unwanted inheritance. And those trusting mothers, surprise, here's your delayed delivery breast cancer. But wait, this horror show had a sequel. The grandchildren inherited fertility problems too. 3 generations all paying for one miracle drug. The numbers, 5 to 10 million pregnant women and their offspring exposed in the US alone. The reward for their trust, epic betrayal. Big Pharma hyped it, doctors pushed it, and the FDA rubber stamped it. By the time they pulled it in the 70s, 3 generations were already poisoned. Some pregnancy insurance, huh? Lotronex Roulette. The FDA's greatest flip-flop, a drug so dangerous they banned it, then brought it back with a permission slip to die. February 2000, FDA approves Lotronex for women with chronic severe diarrhea. The pitch? No more running to the bathroom. What they didn't mention, also maybe no more running, ever. Just 9 months later, it's yanked off shelves. Why? 49 cases of ischemic colitis, where blood flow to your colon gets cut off. Like your intestines going into airplane mode during a crisis. 21 cases of severe constipation, not the ate too much cheese kind, but the need surgery and blood transfusions kind. Some patients didn't just visit the ER, they got permanent residency in the cemetery. But like a stubborn villain, Lotronex returned in 2002. The FDA's brilliant plan? Make it exclusive, only for desperate women with severe IBS-D. Sign this fancy document to acknowledge this pill might destroy your intestines. At least now, everyone knew they were playing Russian roulette with their colons. Today, the FDA dropped all special safety measures. Their logic? It's fine now. Really? The same FDA that approved it, pulled it, and brought it back with a wink? Did the drug suddenly get safer? Did doctors suddenly get colon-saving superpowers? Or is the FDA just crossing their fingers and hoping for the best? Cylert Collapse. 200,000 kids, 0 warning signs, 13 dead, the ADHD drug that played Russian roulette with children's livers. Yikes. In 1975, Cylert hit the ADHD market as the safer option, a stimulant that promised better focus without addiction. 200,000 kids across North America became unwitting test subjects. The regular side effects? Just your typical Monday blues, insomnia, headaches, irritability, but Cylert had a darker hobby. Destroying livers. The body count? 21 cases of acute liver failure. 13 didn't survive. The twisted part? No warning signs. You could take it for years feeling fine, then bam! Suddenly all it took was 1 week from perfectly normal to full liver failure. Yet this liver-melting time bomb stayed on the market for decades. The FDA waited until 1999. 24 years and countless victims later to slap on a box warning label. Great job, guys. Even then, Cylert stuck around until 2023, when the manufacturer finally pulled it for good. Think about it. A drug that could silently kill you stayed on the market for almost 50 years. Zelmid Tragedy. Imagine taking a pill to feel less like a disaster, only to become one permanently. Meet Zelmid, the antidepressant that gave Hope a giant middle finger. 1982, Astra launches their revolutionary antidepressant, promising to lift depression without the usual side effects. They bought doctors' loyalty with exotic trips, free lunches, and shiny gifts. Medical ethics, huh? By 1983, over 200,000 people worldwide were swallowing their slice of hope, but something sinister was brewing. The first signs? Fever and muscle pain. Astra shrugged it off as a tiny 1% risk. Then came the hammer drop. Liver damage, crippling muscle cramps, and the grand finale, Guillain-Barré syndrome, a rare disorder where your immune system attacks your nerves until you're paralyzed or dead. Unlike this drug's side effects, subscribing won't kill you, probably. Anyway, Sweden raised the alarm first, 80 severe reactions among just 25,000 patients. And that's just the ones they knew about. That's when the UK reached for the emergency brake. But Astra kept denying, deflecting, delaying, until the Guillain-Barré cases stacked up like bodies. September 15, 1983, Astra yanked Zelmid worldwide, just weeks before its US debut. Not from conscience, but fear of lawsuits. Jeez, talk about corporate ethics. Palladone Deathtrap. 2004's deadliest innovation, a painkiller that turned fatal if you cracked the pill wrong, or had a beer, or cough syrup. Think powerful prescription pain medication on steroids, an extended-release opioid that promised 24 hours of pain relief. But here's the killer twist. Mix it with anything, beer, wine, even cough syrup, and it goes full kamikaze. The entire 24-hour dose dumps into your system at once. Your lungs? Yeah, they just peace out. Breathing? Nah, we're done here. The best part, even handling the pill wrong could kill you. Because it was designed to release slowly over 24 hours, any damage to the pill, a crack, a crush, even an accidental break, released the entire dose instantly. No alcohol needed for this death trap, and if you survive the overdose, yeah, get ready for weeks of withdrawal hell. Your body staging a full-scale rebellion of nausea, vomiting, diarrhea, cramping, insomnia, and pure misery. Somehow, this death capsule got the FDA's blessing, only to be yanked months later with a body count. Their response? Whoops, our bad. The lesson? Just because it's FDA approved doesn't mean it won't kill you. Think you've seen it all? Not yet. The next story goes way beyond. We're talking jaw-dropping, nightmare-fueling stuff you don't want to miss. And you'll be glad you joined me. I'll see you there.